You're listening to the Dre Area Sports Show, live on YouTube and X. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe.
That John Lynch had to say at the NFL Scouting Combine, and that is in regard to the wide receiver room. As things currently stand, it's not looking very good. You're going to lose Brandon Ayuk, rightfully so. He'll get cut. Get him out of here. It sounds like they're going to let Juwan Jennings test the market and let him set his own market value, which, again, also makes sense. Leaving Ricky Pearsall, who has maybe missed as many games as he's played. Demarcus Robinson, who is in the final year of his contract and had one good game all last season. Jordan Watkins, who has done nothing. I think he has one catch on his career and didn't play for 99% of the games. Jacob Cowling, who John Lynch says they're expecting big things from, didn't play a single offensive snap last year and didn't play many 2 years ago. And that's it. There's not many proven pieces in that room, but the expectation is this offseason, wide receiver will be a very important piece of the free agency and draft class for San Francisco. John Lynch said they have the opportunity to improve themselves by bringing new guys in, but more importantly here, bringing players back that have been with us before. When you heard that, did your mind go to, oh, it's just Juwan Jennings? Oh, it's Kendrick Bourne? Or did your mind go to somebody else, Ray?
Oh, I went immediately to Deebo Samuel. It also went immediately to Dre Greenlaw. If Dre Greenlaw gets cut, which it looks like that's what's going to happen, is that, I should say, there's a big chance he's going to be a cut casualty. I think that if he gets cut, the Niners will reach out to him and offer him probably a 1-year deal. I don't see them going for a 2-year deal. I mean, they literally went to his house and tried to talk him out of his contract with the Broncos, even though he had already agreed to it. Like, what? I think they're going to make a play to bring him back. And when it comes to receiver, yeah, I think they're going to bring back Deebo Samuel. I absolutely do. Now, if they bring back Deebo and that's all they do at receiver, we have a problem. Then it's like, okay, that's like a San Francisco Giants move where you go get somebody that you had before.
It's Hunter Pence all over again.
Yeah, but then you didn't get anybody else. You're like, well, wait, that's cool you brought him back. That's cool you brought back Richard Riley to play third base. But you didn't go out and get anybody else. Like, what? I'm okay if you do that, but then you got to get somebody else in here, you know? So if you do that and you make a trade for a Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, what have you, then it's okay. Then it's like, well, hey, if I got this star receiver, I got Ricky Pearsall, and then I got Deebo Samuel, that's not that bad. Okay, I can live with that. But
Aaron,
I don't think I just think that there's a chance that they bring back Deebo, and that's it. If you want to ask me what I think they're going to do, and this is not what I want them to do, this is what I think they're going to do, is that they are going to bring back Deebo Samuel, and I think that the money that Juwan Jennings wants, I think they give that money to Mike Evans. And I think you get Mike Evans, Ricky Pearsall, Deebo Samuel. Because I think that the reason why is because they see this as next year is their probably best chance to win a Super Bowl. 2 years from now, who knows? But next year, your aging core, this is probably the last year you can do that, right? The last year you could feel confident saying, yeah, we can get this done. Do I think these guys are going to be good players next 3-4 years? Yeah, I do. But next year is probably their best shot. And so I think that if you go get a guy to replace Juwan Jennings and Mike Evans, who's bigger, stronger, faster, not extremely fast, but better, and I'd be willing to pay him the money that Juwan Jennings wants. I would pay him $20+ million a year for the next year, 2 years to try and win a Super Bowl. And then if I did that, I would bring back Deebo Samuel on a much smaller contract because, let's face it, how big of a market does Deebo Samuel have? They'll probably cut him off for like $7 million, $8 million, and bring him in here with some incentives that could take him up to like 13. But he has to perform.
Aaron, when you hear the Niners are thinking of bringing somebody back that was already on the team, we probably all thought of Deebo Samuel. It really does seem like it's a foregone conclusion they're going to bring back Deebo, the way Kittle talked about it before the Super Bowl, the way Christian McCaffrey talked about it on Radio Row, the way John Lynch kind of hinted towards it. I think we can all agree. If Deebo comes back, we don't love it, right? It's like, okay, kind of a reversion back to what we were before. And there's bigger questions as to, does Kyle Shanahan fall back into the hole of Deebo, save me, Deebo, game plan for you only, nobody else? That terrifies me. But my bigger question to you, Aaron, is with the way things ended in 2024, Deebo calling out his teammates on Twitter, Deebo complaining about not getting touches despite him having the most touches on the offense that year, it felt like you needed a fresh start. That is hey, we tried this for a while. We didn't really enjoy ourselves. It's like dating somebody, right? Okay, we tried it. It's run its course. Let's move on, get a fresh start. San Francisco got their fresh start. It went to the playoffs and won 12 games. Won a playoff game last year. Whereas Deebo, he went to Washington and everybody got hurt. And it wasn't a great year for that team.
Not a good year.
Do you think this is maybe Deebo initiating a return, knowing that Kyle is kind of the safety blanket of like, I want to come home where I'm safe and I know I can work things out here? Or do you think Kyle's pushing for this of, I want Deebo Samuel back?
Weren't they all at a party together?
They were, yes.
And if Kyle really has some serious problems with him, like, why would he be there and talking to all the guys? He was there talking to everybody. It's like relationships. Sometimes like somebody goes and tries something new and they find out that grass isn't greener on the other side. And then they come back to the lover that they scorned and they kiss and make up. The weird thing it is with me that really gets under my skin is like at the end of the year press conference, they say a bunch of things and they get you kind of excited. And I remember having this conversation with you guys and Mike that they say a bunch of stuff at the press conferences.
Like what though?
Just,
like what?
We need, the speed thing and they need to get quicker. They seem slower and it really kind of showed itself last year. And then you want to bring in a guy like Deebo who's lost like 3 steps. And like, it's funny, Dre DM'd me that scenario and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And then the press conference happens and I'm like, oh my God, he actually is right. And then like bringing in Mike Evans, he's old.
He's old. This is like bringing in Evan Longoria and
Andrew McCutcheon.
McCutcheon.
What I mean is like
you're just like, okay.
They say stuff, right? But they always go back to the comfortable thing, the thing that they feel the most sure about, even if it's an aging player. Instead of being like, maybe we can just figure out the fucking draft and bring in new people to play those positions. They are so behind the 8 ball with so many misses that they have to kind of go grovel at people that used to be on the team and say, hey, you want to come back, get another run at it? You're probably not going to have as good of a chance in Washington as you are here. We still got a good quarterback. We still have Fred. We still have Nick. We still have Kittle. We still have Christian. And maybe he was like, I guess so. I mean, it can't be worse. So I don't know, man. I'm just weird on this whole, like, bring the gang back together when that gang never won a Super Bowl.
But that's what I'm telling you. It feels like, when George Kittle met with Deebo Samuel at that party, it kind of felt like, let's get the band back together again. Like, dude, come back, dude. Let's fucking do this. And that's what it feels like. But again, like, believe it or not, I'm somewhat all right bringing him back, but that can't be the answer. That can't be like, we brought back Deebo and then we're going to look to the draft. Like, wait, what? Like, when are you going to draft in the early rounds? Well, we don't know yet. So I know they love Juwan Jennings. I know that. But if I were to tell you, like, hey, next year our starting 3 receivers is going to be Juwan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, Deebo Samuel. To me, that is not enough. That's just like, all right, that's all right. 2 guys don't even get separation.
I would much rather pay Juwan Jennings $18 million a year than bring back Deebo Samuel on a 1-year contract and draft somebody else.
But would you rather pay Mike Evans or Juwan Jennings?
Pay Mike Evans at all. Juwan Jennings, by far.
By far. Why? Why?
Not pay a superior?
Because Brock Purdy has chemistry with Juwan Jennings. They know how he play. Juwan Jennings blocks. He's been pretty healthy his entire time in San Francisco. He plays hurt. He's a dog. I mean, hell, he has the second best arm on the whole team. It's not the best arm in the quarterback room right now. Like, that dude is clutch as hell in playoff games. Everyone wants to talk about, this team doesn't play good in big games. Christian McCaffrey fumble in the Super Bowl. Trent Williams didn't play good against Kansas City in the Super Bowl. George Kittle shoulder and Deebo, played great in almost every playoff game they've had, minus the last one against Seattle. Juwan Jennings, and you have a franchise quarterback you're paying a lot of money to. Don't take away his weapons. Now, I'm okay letting Juwan Jennings walk. What I'm not okay doing is saying, Juwan, you can walk, and we're going to give the money that you want to a 35-year-old, 34-year-old ex-receiver that might play one more year off a season where he didn't play all but 6 games. You draft a receiver in round 1 or round 2, whether it's Denzel Boston from Washington, hopefully Omar Cooper's there, maybe it's Malachi Fields in round 2 or 3, I don't know. But if you have to find Purdy the next crop of his weapons. He doesn't have weapons. You can't give him a 29-year-old guy and a 35-year-old guy and a 30-year-old tight end and a near 30 running back. Now, you don't have to replace all those guys, but you have to find the core. We're all begging for the next core of offensive pieces.
Yep.
And I don't think paying Mike Evans and Deebo Samuel for a year or 2 is worth that at all. Like, no, that's a net negative. You may win a couple games, but Mike Evans could have a hamstring strain again all year long. Give me a 22-year-old guy I can at least take a risk on and say, hey, he may be a bust, but at least he's not 35 in the twilight of his career with no kind of high-end potential left.
Okay, I would say this. Look, do I agree with you? Yes, I would love to get younger, get faster, and build through the draft. Will they do that? Probably not, because Kyle Shanahan loves to have guys that he can trust, guys that he can rely on. He has not developed Jordan Watkins. He has not developed Jacob Cowing. He has not developed any young receiver whatsoever. Barely Ricky Pearsall, but he's been getting hurt one hit after another. That's why I feel like that if they're like, hey, let's make a big play at a receiver, they're going to get somebody that they can get at a Juwan Jennings rate that's going to, because they want Brock to have a big target. They want him to have a big guy. He's a small guy. He's got to look over the receivers. We got to give him a big target. But they don't want, they would love to bring Juwan Jennings back, but if he prices himself out of their market, then they're going to go elsewhere. And that's the only guy I can see them saying, you know what? He's a big target. He's a big play receiver. He'd be a huge factor in the red zone, just like they did with Devontae Adams.
So
that's why I say that. Now, do I want them to sign Mike Evans? No, not really, but I could see them going that route and saying, hey, we got a bona fide red zone threat in Mike Evans.
See, but here's my concern, and Aaron, I'll let you jump in after this, but like, my concern is you don't draft replacements for Juwan Jennings in round 1, round 2, or even round 3. And if you're Kyle Shanahan, you don't even start receivers that aren't picked on day 1 or early day 2.
You don't.
Like, Deebo Samuel is the only second-round draft pick to ever start from day 1 on the team. And you have Ayuk and Pearsall, the other 2 first-round receivers, and those guys played basically on day 1, albeit Pearsall was shot. So there's context as to why. But if you're the Niners, you can't wait till round 3, round 4, round 5. They're not going to play. Even Jordan Watkins last year. We had a question in the YouTube chat, if I can find it really fast, that, really it's why haven't or what will it take for Jordan Watkins to get out of the doghouse? The question really isn't what will it take Jordan Watkins to get out of the doghouse, at least in my opinion. It's why does every young wide receiver find themselves in the doghouse? Now, I get it. Kyle's really particular. He has to have guys hit his quotas, whether it's speed and blocking. Okay, fine. Jordan Watkins really isn't a burner. He has some speed, but you're begging that guy to run block for you, which he's okay at, but he's a down the field, go up and get it, contested catch guy. You have a quarterback that wants to throw the ball deep and wants to give guys an opportunity. I don't think the question really is, what will it take Jordan Watkins to get out there? The question is, why doesn't Kyle find ways to use the guys he already has in the building? There's no reason for Kendrick Bourne to be playing last year. He didn't know the offense in a playoff game. We had
he was like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
We had Malik Turner getting snaps in playoff games because Kyle's too stubborn. Like, what are we doing? So I think if you're a Niner fan and you're saying you got to get younger, got to get faster, you better be begging that wide receiver to get picked in round 1 or round 2, because you're not going to see them if they're not. And that's a problem for sure. But Aaron, when you hear the thought of, Mike Evans and Deebo Samuel or drafting a guy, does that sound like a legitimate plan to surround your franchise quarterback with the weapons he needs to win? And even deeper here, does that give you confidence that that's the next crop or core of stars this team needs to get over the hump?
They need to break in new players, man. Like this whole dependency on guys that were here before. See, that's why the whole Ayuk situation is so horrible. Because you have Ayuk, right? Then you have Ricky Pearsall if he stays healthy. Those are your top 2 receivers, right? Then you can let a Jawan Jennings go and bring another guy in, maybe for less in free agency, and maybe draft another guy in like round 5 or something to kind of take place of him. But they got none of that. And then this whole thing where like, let's bring in old and more old. If I'm them, I triple dip. I bring in a 1-year guy. I bring in maybe another 2nd or 3rd like receiver in free agency, and then I draft a guy as well. Like they need speed and youth. They need to have an offense that can threaten people downfield, because they play in like a 12-yard box where they do nothing and they just sit there, and they're so easy to defend if you have a good pass rush and sticky corners. You know what I mean? Like,
Aaron, if I told you their 1-year deal is Deebo Samuel, the guy they bring back for the next 2 to 3 years is Jawan Jennings, and they draft a guy in round 1 or 2, does that make you happy? Or are you like,
no,
it's not enough?
I would. I know you guys are gonna freaking scoff at me, but I saw it in the comments. I would be, but they just 1-year incentive laden deal to all he does is take the top off the defense, or you can use him for end rounds. Like, and then you have Pearsall if he stays healthy, and then if one or either Watkins or Cowling becomes anything, and then maybe you bring in another guy as well. Like, they need speed. They need people that can, burn some ass on the field. But this whole like obsession, why? Like, don't tell us at the press conference at the end of the year that you understand and see what everybody else is seeing. But yet when push comes to shove, you're going to panic and go right back to the stuff that you've done before. To me, I don't know, man. So that's what happens when you don't draft well.
You're listening to the Dre Aries Sports Show, live on YouTube and X. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe.